I've been cooking since I was 12 maybe, and my mother taught me how to cook. She really loves cooking. That's all she does actually. So I was working in corporate and I was extremely unhappy. And a friend of mine was due to get married and she wanted to know how to make traditional South African food. And then she went looking for a place that could help her with these lessons and she found none. So she then asked me to give her these cooking lessons and that's what I've been doing since. And then I realized that nobody is telling, the South African food story. Surprisingly, in our country, it's easier to get everybody else's, cuisines than it is to get ours. So that's what led me here. A best-selling cookbook, first and foremost. But yes, to keep telling the South African food story, I'd like for our food to be on the world map, just like, Japanese food and Italian food and all of those are. So like I said, this friend of mine who wanted these cooking lessons, she would say that she's scared they're going to call her the Lazy Makoti, that nobody wants to be called that. And yeah, the name kind of stuck. It's catchy, it's witty, it's modern. Yeah. Probably since the very beginning that I started giving the cooking lessons. After each class, everyone would ask, is there a book where I can get all these recipes? And I've always said, it's coming, and I'm so excited that it finally is coming. I think at some point I wanted to be a doctor, and then pursued the accounting and auditing, and thank God, now I'm here, I'm a chef. The core inspiration behind the book is telling, I always say the new South African story, because we're not just traditional, but we're not just modern. So a great mix of both. It's just as African as it is, modern. Growing up, I was a chubby child, so you can imagine I ate quite a bit. So probably a curry or tripe, or my mom bakes a lot. So probably something that she baked, her scones, her banana bread, which are all in the cookbook. Yeah. A kitchen tool I can't go without. Probably my blender. I use that quite a bit. And what else? I like very easy cooking, so no like fancy gadgets really. Time. I use it in almost everything. I just love how it smells. I love, to even garnish with it. It's my absolute favorite herb. Keep it simple. Yeah, I think people like to think of cooking as this, super complicated, intimidating thing. And I like to show that it's really easy if you just experiment and you try a new thing here and there. But the basics are really just the basics. Keep it simple. When I was 14 and I nailed my mom's banana bread recipe. Oh no, actually no. My favorite recipe in the book is one of the trifles that we make. That's a poached pear trifle. It looks stunning. I'm sure everyone's going to try that. Tag me when you do on Instagram. Best food destination. Haven't been yet, but I would love to go to India. I love a good curry, and I can only imagine how great the curries there are gonna be. I need to think. Probably when I did my apprenticeship at the Saxon Hotel, the head chef there, Chef Werner. So when I first got there, I was terrified of, being in the hot kitchen, and I wanted to stay in the cold kitchen because that was safer, I felt. And he said, if not you, then who? So yeah, just try it. My personal dreams for the future is to take the Lazy Makoti outside the borders of South Africa, primarily, to the rest of the continent. That's my biggest dream, to expand the Lazy Makoti here, yes, definitely. But to reach other parts of the continent, that would be my absolute dream come true. So Makoti means daughter-in-law. So in African culture, when you are due to get married, there's a time that you must go spend with your in-laws so that they can teach you like how they cook. So cooking is very important. Your mother-in-law, your sisters-in-law will all want to know that you can actually cook for their son, their brother. So this friend of mine that was going to get married, she wanted to be sure that she won't be called the lazy daughter-in-law, which nobody wants to get called. So hence, she wanted me to give her these cooking lessons so that when she goes there, she is this great bride. So basically, they're supposed to teach you their way of doing it, but the basics are the basics. You should at least know the very basics, and then they can teach you their own spin on it. So the recipes aren't just traditional food, but everyday cooking that people eat in South Africa. That was definitely the whole point of the book. That I'd like for everyone to for the recipes to be accessible, for someone to pick up the book and page through it and feel like, oh my gosh, I think even I could attempt this, and then you go and you actually make it. So yes, my recipes are mostly about simple cooking, very great, very flavorful, but simple, easy steps, easy to follow, all these ingredients that you can find very easily in the shops. Very easy, very simple, but just as delicious, just as flavorful, and most importantly, looks great.
If you had to choose.
My comfort food is probably dessert. I know that's bad, but probably, a cake. I'm a tea girl. I really love tea, so tea and an indulgent piece of cake. The smell of banana bread in the morning reminds me of my mom, because every other Saturday, that's what I'd wake up to, and definitely the smell of curry reminds me of home. Yeah. Every time I go home to Polokwane, I'll call my mom and I let her know, and that's what she makes. She makes a tripe curry for me every single time. That's actually a great question. So yes, some of the ingredients are from the north, because I'm originally from the north. But I've included recipes in there for everyone that is South African. We have some ngusho that's very Xhosa. Even the picture you will see, I'm wearing Xhosa regalia, so it's very accessible. I wanted it to be accessible for everyone. We have in there ujeqe, which is very Zulu. We have in the ding that's very Sotho. So I've made it a point to include everyone in this truly South African cookbook. I think it's an important aspect of being South African. I think that's what we're known for, our hospitality, and I wanted to capture that in our food. It's warm, it's homely, it's celebratory, it's welcoming of everyone, and that's what I wanted to do with this cookbook. Definitely, I would like for you to take a second different look at all this food that you maybe don't think is, as like you said, it's ordinary, to make it extraordinary. Like the bunny worms that you refuse to try, which we've made slightly more different. We've added some peanut butter, and the taste is different. And yeah, that's what I wanted. I want you to look at these recipes and think, I could try that, and actually try it and see how easy it is. Yes, the other great thing we did when compiling the recipes is we grouped them into chapters. So there's a chapter in there for breakfast. So if that's what you need to make, you go straight to that chapter. There's a 7 colors chapter that's for Sunday lunch cooking. You just go straight to that chapter if that's what you need. There's a dessert chapter. So I love how we've been able to group the different recipes for whatever situation you're going to need to cook for. I do. I absolutely. Who doesn't? When you make something and you make it really great and it comes out just right, don't you want people to see it? So, I mean, I know there's Instagram, but you would like for someone else to taste it, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this for my friends or for my family. So that for me is a big part of cooking. And it goes with like the sharing and the hospitality that's very much tied to food. I would rather have friends and family over. Yeah, I would rather have friends and family over. But although I do enjoy cooking with my aunts and my cousins when we have big family affairs.